So this is the rota system and for the Charterhouse Climbing Club, and this is the testing video just to show how the program works. So I'm going to start off by logging into the system. So firstly, I'm going to do that from the instructor's point of view. So this is an instructor username, which is their instructor ID, and then a password. Okay, so once you do that, that then moves you to the instructor's homepage with these four buttons, and I'm going to be showing you all of the pages which are linked to that. The other one which I'm going to show you is how you'd log in from the administrator's page, so from the administrator thing. So this is the exact same page, the home page, and so administrator username, administrator password, and that just logs you onto both, onto the administrator. Okay, so from the administrator homepage, again, you've got these four things, and the first one I'm going to show you is going to be the add session. So from here, you can add all of the sessions. So the first thing is the start time. Now the start time, the start date. The start date has a specific format which is shown here, and anything else inputted it won't like. So I'm going to add one for the 13th of the 10th, 2018. So 13th, 10th, 2018. Okay, now if I were to, so that's telling me straight away, date either in wrong format or out of range, so it doesn't like it. And if you look, that's not, I've not put it in the format that it likes. So another way, so I'll put it in that format, so 18, 10, 13, okay, but still it doesn't like it because I've only put the 18 rather than the 2018. Okay, so we're just going to go back to here, and then that's fine. Okay, so that's not giving me a message. Okay, so next I have the start time. So the start time is going to be, for this one is going to be 10 AM. Now again, given format doesn't like it, so in fact what I need would be 10:00:00, which it has already got there. Okay, and again, no error message. Okay, so the duration. So the duration for this one's going to be 4 hours. Doesn't like it. Won't let me submit it. So I actually need 4. Sorry, I've got the 0. So then, number of instructors. Now, for my program, you can only enter in a single number. So, for example, 8 should work on that rule. However, my program is set up so that it has a maximum of 4 instructors. As realistically, that's the maximum number that you're going to get. So 4 is fine, but 2 is actually how many they're going to need. So I'm only going to set it to be 2. Now, the session type. Now, there are only really these types of sessions. So a PAR, which is a party, a PRI, which is a private, or a PAYG, which is a pay-as-you-go. So for this example, it's going to be a party. So doesn't like it. Type without space. No, still doesn't like it. And actually, it does say I just need those 2 letters. So let's try that one. Needs to be that capital. There you go. Okay, so then you've got the session ID. Now this is currently inputted, it's not self-generated. So we are going to have to type it in. So it is going to be Saturday 13:10, and then it's going to be a party. Oh, spelled party wrong, that doesn't help. Party. Okay, now that says it's connected successfully, so to most people that would then mean it's worked. However, if I actually go over to my database and go on to sessions, you'll see it's not actually here. So that was Saturday, it should be Saturday 13:10 party, and that's actually not written there. So if I go back to my webpage, what actually needs to go in is all of this data which we've already put in. And then this needs to be sat with a capital S. And the date is 1310, that bit was fine. And then it actually needs to be just PAR, okay? It's just the 3 letters, okay? So if I click submit now, that goes off again. And then if I go back to my database and just reload it, then you can see that's been added here. So that is now a successfully added thing. Okay. Okay, so we are back to the administrator's homepage where I'm going to show you the remove sessions page. So click on that and it brings you to here. Okay, now this is a drop down menu with all of the session IDs in it. Okay, and this is the one which we just added, and this is the one which I created earlier just so that I could delete it basically. Because there's not a month 1, 2, 3, 4. So all you do is click submit, and that will then delete it. So it was previously in the sessions page, but now it is no longer there. Okay, so that is the removal of a session. If I go onto the instructor's homepage, I will show you the seal sessions page. So this is all of the sessions. So this includes the one which we've just added, is at the bottom, and everything else is here. So it's got all of the information held about the sessions here. So it has their date, their start time, their duration, number of instructors, their type, and their session ID. Okay, so this is back to the instructor's homepage, and I'm just going to show you how you add availability. So this is kind of like a date as to when it, or a time as to when it has to be back, and this is the preference setting explained for anyone new to using the system or don't still fully understand it. So this is the session ID list. Forms a drop-down menu, much like in the remove session, and then this is where you actually add the preference. So it can only be preference 1 to 4. If you type the thing, it doesn't like it. If it's a number greater than 4, for example, it doesn't like it. So you've got to go with just like 1 to 4. Okay. So this is for the instructor JMH. So I'm just going to click submit, and that's like a summary of what's been submitted. So then if we go over into the database and just reload the page, you can see just here that that's been added. Now, say that you wanted to change your availability. You can click here and go onto the change availability page. So this is kind of like your same setup as the other page. Same here as well. And what we're going to do is we're just going to change this from being preference 1 to being preference 3. Okay, so this has the same validation as the other one. So if I type in 3, doesn't like it. If I type in 5, doesn't like it. So I'm going to go 3. Submit. That tells me what it should have changed to. I go onto here, reload the page, and you can see it's here. So there's no more instances if I order it. You know, it's ordered by session ID, so all of the same session IDs would be there. So this is the only one for this one, and it's been changed. Okay, so that is a successful change in availability. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how the actual program runs. So my project is in 2 halves. The kind of the interface, where all inputs go in and out of, and then the actual processing of the data, which is done here in VB. So I'm going to show you how my kind of program takes all the data and all the availability put into the database via the HTML forms into an actual full rotor. So that happens here. So it's a full VB object-oriented code. It's not an executable file yet, but yeah. So that message box told me that it had connected to the database, and then these are all just things which I've written in, well, little white lines so that I know what's going on. So the first one, the sessions data retrieved, means that it's brought all of the sessions across. This is all the instructors data across. This is all the session IDs which it's found. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And then that is a full motor. So obviously that's really horrible to see and to understand. So if we actually go into the database, which is here, then if I just reload this page, then you can see that all of this is done. Now, the program this is a session that I made a couple of weeks ago with insufficient availability to create one, and then this was the session which we made, which obviously we only put in one person's availability for it, so that was never going to create a whole thing because 2 sessions were needed. So now if we, so yeah, that is the whole kind of program, and then I'll show you in a minute how that actually gets outputted so that everyone can see it. Okay, so we're back onto the administrator's homepage, and I'm going to show you how they see the timetable. So this is the, I suppose it's almost like their dashboard, so it tells them kind of everything which is going on. So this is a table of all of the sessions, like it was laid out on the See My Sessions page and See All Sessions pages, but it also has this extra column called Instructor's ID. Now, quite boldly at the top, it has null values within instructors assigned, null values within instructors assigned, and however many of these there are, that means that within this table there are 2 null values. So there's one here and there's one here. Now that's happened, so this one I had set up because if you look at the availability for Friday for this session, the instructors have all got a session, an availability of 4 except for JMH, who has an availability of 3, or a preference of 3. So he's been accepted in, but because 4 means that they don't do it at all and that they can't do it at all, the other instructor ID has been set to null. This is actually exactly the same as what happened on this one. So this was the one which we created, and so you can see they haven't done it. Now if I scroll down, you also have this. So these are some more instructors which are part of the program, and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them have all of their availability. So you'll notice that ABC and HGC don't actually feature in this at all, and were created purely just so that I could test whether instructors IDs, whether when you create an instructor ID it gets put over onto the table, so they haven't actually got any availability associated with them at all. So this, I suppose, kind of replicates what it would be like before the deadline for submission of availability, whereby some would and some wouldn't have. So when this page loads, it a MySQL statement performs a task which says if on availability there are 5 instances of this instructor's ID, or however many sessions there should be, and there's an availability for every single session from each instructor, then availability added equals yes. Otherwise it means no. So HGC and ABC I don't think have any availability at all, so they don't have any, and I will show you how to create a new instructor in a moment. So yeah, so that is the full thing. So the null values with instructors assigned, there's not a huge amount that kind of can be done from here, so that would kind of signal to the administrator that they need to kind of call round and see who they can get to do, and that probably wouldn't kind of come into the timetable of this system. That would actually be an external thing for the program. So yeah, and that's in Word, so that it's really bold for them to see. Okay, so this is the administrator's homepage again, and I'm going to show you what this button does. So this is the Add New Instructor. So say a new instructor joins the kind of club, obviously they're going to need some logon details. So first things first is their name. So this is capital letter at the beginning and then followed by up to 9 letters. So say I did something like that, straight away doesn't like it. Still doesn't like it. That it now likes. However, so this is currently 6 letters. 7 is fine, 8 is fine, 9 is fine, 10 is fine, 11 it doesn't like. If I go back to 9, it would be fine. Okay. Date of birth has to follow that same format. So this has exactly the same formatting on it that the sessions ID does. So I'll just show you. So if I go, I don't know, 25. That one, it's not going to like it. So again, just going to have to swap it to being that, and then it's fine. Okay. So no error messages on that one. Lead climb instructor. So this is a yes or no. Capital Y, capital N. If you just type in Y, it doesn't like it. No, no, no. So that is a capital Y and an E and an S. Okay, just a capital Y still won't do anything. Okay, so it's got to be YES. Okay, new instructor ID. So this can be any 3 letters. My initials are ABC, so that's what I'm going to go for. But it can be any 3 that you kind of pick. For most of the instructors on here, it is the first 3 letters of their name. So it could be MIL or something like that. Lowercase, it doesn't like. That will reject. So you put a number on it. So say you had 2 people called Joe and you wanted them to have 2. So Joe 1 and Joe 2, that wouldn't work. You'd have to have, I don't know, JOE and JOA or something. And then password. So this doesn't have any validation on it at all, purely because you can have whatever password you like. So there's no kind of strong password, not strong password, because in theory, this would kind of only exist for as long as the instructor would probably change it. There's not a function to do that on here as it stands, but that kind of would be my hope if I was to develop this further. Also, it doesn't have to be overly secure. It's not an overly secure site. It's not handling data which needs to be secure. It's just kind of, they only really log in just because it's easier for them to do that rather than having to, you know, put in their instructor ID every time. So password. So I'm gonna set this to be #password M. Okay. Just because that's what all the other ones have been. So if I now press submit, that has worked. And then if I go into instructors, you then have ABC. Okay, so that is the one which I've just created. So yeah, so you'll know about the add availability already. So as it says, already know. This was one which I created earlier as well. Okay. Okay, so we are back onto the instructor's homepage, and this, the last button I've got to show you is the See My Sessions. So once the program has run, then obviously the instructors will have been assigned some sessions. So that they can see exactly what they've been assigned, I created this. So this is literally just an output, exactly like it was on the See All sessions, but these are the ones which they've actually been assigned. So then they can, you know, see the date, they've got a start time, they've got duration. They don't actually know who they're working with, but for this one they know that they'd all be working with someone else. They've got the type and they've got the actual ID, so they can kind of keep a track of it.